Just what the heck is a divorce from bed and board in North Carolina anyway? A divorce from bed and board in North Carolina is not a regular divorce. In fact, if it's granted, the parties are still married. And the other differences in North Carolina, a divorce doesn't have to be fault-based. But in this case, with a divorce from bed and board, it does have to be fault-based. What it does is it asks the court to evict one of the spouses from the marital home. And there's many times when this is needed since not all the parties can separate amicably. If granted, a divorce from bed and board also establishes the legal separation date, which allows the party seeking the action to base his or her time frame for the year countdown before an actual divorce is filed. In order, granting a divorce from bed and board can also affect property rights, estate rights, and maybe even child custody and support. North Carolina General Statute 50-70 lays out the grounds for a divorce from bed and board. And there's 6 grounds of a divorce from bed and board in North Carolina. They are abandonment, maliciously turning the other spouse out of doors, cruel or barbarous treatment which endangers the life of the other spouse, indignities to the other spouse as to render his or her life condition intolerable and life burdensome, excessive use of alcohol or drugs to render the condition of the other spouse intolerable and life burdensome, and committing adultery. An action for divorce from bed and board in North Carolina requires a court hearing in front of a judge. Examples of the grounds mentioned above would be for abandonment. I guess one of the spouses leaves the marital home and doesn't return and gives no reason or has no more contact with the other spouse. I suppose the best cliched example of this would be the quote, "Daddy went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back." For maliciously turning out of doors, an example would be coming home to find the locks changed and your suitcase packed and sitting on the front porch. Cruel and barbarous treatment, which endangers the life of the other spouse. An example would be a husband beating his wife or assaulting her with a weapon. There's also another statutory remedy in a case like this, though, through North Carolina General Statute Chapter 50B, which is Domestic Violence Protective Order, for indignities to the other spouse or as to render his or her condition intolerable and life burdensome. An example would be the nagging spouse or a spouse that mentally abuses the other spouse by name-calling and constant put-downs. Excessive use of alcohol or drugs to render the condition of the other spouse intolerable and life burdensome. The example here is pretty easy. The spouse is an alcoholic or drug addict. Commits adultery is self-explanatory. So I hope that helps with the question of, what is divorce from bed and board. It is kind of a strange thing. Have any questions? Let me know.